Hey, what is up guys? Alexa Rivera here from Tech Inspected Extras. Today we are unboxing a mechanical keyboard from Rapoo. This is the Rapoo VPro V560. This is a full-sized 101 plus key mechanical keyboard from Rapoo and priced at about $30 to $40 US, which in the Philippines it's about 1,500 Philippine pesos to 2,000 Philippine pesos. An affordable full-size keyboard with RGB-ish keys, and kind of that's about it. It's a pretty standard 101 key keyboard. You can see metal frame. Oh yeah, so it has a metal backplate and blue switches for this variant. You can buy one in brown and red if I'm not mistaken. And it's an affordable one. Nothing super special about it. It does have the weird sort of gamer-ish metal cut in the back plate, but I guess that's about it. Let's go ahead and unbox this guy. So 2,000 pesos or 1,500 pesos, about 30 to 40 US. Not the bad price. We have a keycap puller here, plastic keycap puller, not bad. In red, we have a quick start guide there. Should give us all the information about, switching colors and stuff like that, or switching the pattern. Basically plug it into your USB port. There's another quick start guide here. What? Okay, there's two quick start guides here. All right, well, let me see. Do they have different languages? Anyways, two quick start guides in case you misplace one. And here would be the keyboard itself inside this sort of soft shell or foam bag here. We have cardboard here, which would hold the cable, as you can see. Let's get it out of the box. Now the box is pretty basic. This is a basic keyboard, basic box contents. Not much to see there, so let's get to the keyboard itself. Now before we get to the keyboard, I want to get you to the website of Rapoo. Tell you all about the product. So as you can see, it says Rapoo V560 Backlit Mechanical Gaming Keyboard. Full cover, full keyboard suspension design. It's talking about the metal backplate here. Full mechanical keys, high speed response, pretty standard for mechanical keyboards. It has N key rollover and it has media controls with the function key. And then we have individually backlit keys. Unfortunately, they do stay the same color entirely, even though it's quote unquote RGB. The pink ones stay pink, the blue ones stay blue. The purple ones stay purple. I'll show you that later. And it doesn't have any drivers. You do have to do everything with the function keys, with the keyboard commands. And if you're not familiar with how it is priced, as you can see here in Lazada, it's priced at about 1,649. Like I said, the price goes from about 1,500 Philippine pesos to 2,000 Philippine pesos. And there you have it. So it's primarily black, but of course we can get it in different, the colors will pop out when we have the lighting turned on. Keys are blue switch. You can pop them out, as you can see. The keys are actually some sort of Rapoo branded switches. You can see that there's a Rapoo branding there. I don't know if you can see that. And then we have a braided cable with a ferrite core at the end of it, and then it has a, USB protector. Nice to have that. And then we have the USB cable end and a little bit of a sort of a neck protector there. Pretty decent. As you can see, there's a VPro logo right there, giving it the Rapoo branding. I would kind of like it if that was entirely black, but can't really complain. This is only a $40 keyboard. At the back here we have wide keyboard information, blah blah blah, Rapoo V560 made in China, QC sticker. We got rubber feet here, and you do have the angle adjustment feet. so you can make it tilt a little bit more forward to you. Now, I did notice, I've been using this a few months now. You did notice that the rubber feet does tend to flip underneath because, well, the rubber is actually pretty sticky, but the flap is easy to, you know, switch over. So once you press it forward, sometimes when you're typing it does flap over, but, you know, can't really complain about that. If you manage to keep it upright and not push the keyboard so much, it's not bad. So we'll plug this in and play around with it in just a bit. All right, guys, so here we have the Rapoo V560, Rapoo VPro V560 already plugged into our computer. And you can see the shape of the metal plate here, which is actually really metal. It's cold to the touch. Has this little cutout thingy that is sort of gamery design. There is a little bit more cutout here. It's kind of offset. It adds a little bit of a palm rest, but I don't think it actually works as a palm rest. There are slots over there, which is kind of weird. And there's a slot over there as well. So it's, you know, acquired taste. If you're into that gamery aesthetic feel, then yes, that's fine. The logo here, kind of, you know, there as well if you're into that. Now you can see that the colors here are very fixed. So all of the top row will be red. All of the second row is green, light blue, purple, and orange and blue. You can't change individual key colors, but they are individually lit technically. And they have a bunch of color combinations. We'll be playing with that in just a little bit. There's an interesting feature here where you can, of course, well, the one feature that is pretty common with most keyboards these days is function Windows key, and then this light will turn on, telling you that it has disabled the Windows key. So if you're playing a game and you don't want to accidentally press the Windows key, that works there. But it has something special called, I believe, the switching between the keys, the arrow keys. Anyway, if you press function W, the WASD will switch with the arrow keys, and the arrow keys will switch with WASD. So if I'm going to press WASD here, you can see on the keyboard tester here up on the monitor that I am actually pressing the arrow key. So if you have a game that uses arrow keys, that is kind of useful if you want to keep your fingers on WASD. And you turn it off, you press function W as well. Now, the color combinations here are kind of interesting. There's no software to the Rapoo V560. You press function delete for the normal breathing, and it's not going to show up as flickering in person, but that is based on the camera. Depends on the camera if it's going to flicker. Function delete is going to give you breathing. Function insert gives you this snake style marquee is what they call it. And function home is the reactive one with the wave color. As you can see, each key are still colored the same as the previous keys, as the keys on their row. So all of these lines will still be green. All of the bottom ones will still be blue. Anyway, function, I believe, page up is all lit up, no turned off keys. And then function page down is just reactive with no wave feature, right? So that's pretty common for most keyboards, but there is a special method here that you can pre-program the keys individually. So function end gives you pre-programmed keys, function 1, 2, 3. You can set these up as you wish, but there's up to 10 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are preset. But once you get to F7, you can actually, all of these you can customize. So if you press, once you are in this mode, you press function end, and then you have 3 blinking lights here, and then you can customize the keys as you wish, whichever ones are lit up. You press function end, and that's already pre-programmed. So if you have a specific game that uses specific keys here, that's a great way to program all the lit up keys as the ones you want. And then if you want to edit them again, just press function end. You turn them off by clicking on them, and that will turn them off as well. So if you have a game that uses only 2 keys, or if you want to have, semi-lit up keyboard, you can have, keyboards that are fully lit on the left side, not lit on the right side if you want. It's kind of interesting. And definitely there's a lot of presets. You can go up to 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's kind of interesting if you like that. But there is no software here, so there is no things you can change here. But if you go back to breathing mode, or that's not breathing mode, I think home, no. Delete is breathing mode, right? So if we press function up, that increases the brightness. We are at maximum brightness right now. If we press function down, that decreases the brightness and goes down to off. So if you press it a lot, it will turn off. If you press function up, that is the lowest brightness it can go. So I'll bring it up to highest brightness now. And then if you press function left, it will slow down the animation. That is the slowest animation right there. And then if you press function right, it will speed up the animation. So you can customize it as you like. However, the function end mode will always have the lights on, and I don't think they breathe or anything. So that is the limitation there. All right, so we got some pretty standard shortcuts here with function keys. You know, function F1 starts up my PC, search, calculator, player, previous music, next music, blah, 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 blah. So all of those functions are on the F keys, and they are labeled, so that's pretty useful, I have to admit. And we have it on breathing right now. As I mentioned before, the breathing, the flickering doesn't show up in person. That is based on my camera shutter speed. All right, so I'm going to do a typing test here. So I'm going to start a 1 minute typing test, and we'll see how it goes. It is a... All right, so that is the test. I made 79 adjusted speed on the typing test here. So not bad, 80, 79, that's pretty good. That's about normal for my typing speed. So I gotta give it to this keyboard, you know, pretty decent. I think the keys are just right. So let me just go back to the keyboard here. Let's check for key wobble. Not a lot, actually. So there are sort of guiding spines for longer keys here. You can see right there. And the keys, they feel pretty good. And they don't wobble a lot. And the switch, I think, is pretty good as well. You can hear there. There's the actuation point. You can hear a little bit of the spring twinging back, but I think that's a pretty good switch. I'm not a big connoisseur on switches, so I think these are pretty good. Let's check out the key. These are double shot. Try and focus on that, my boy. You can see they are double shot. The transparent one is, or translucent plastic is the first shot, and the black plastic is the second shot. So actually that's a little bit more expensive than typical keys. So I guess that's nice. They do have a little bit of a sharp edge. I don't know if that's good or bad necessarily. I'm not a big, I'm not a stickler for any particular version of making these keys. I think these keys are perfectly fine for me. And I think the wobble, for example, compared to a different keyboard here that I have, wobble is much better than this one that I have. But then again, this is a small Bluetooth keyboard. And these guys wobble a lot. But, what can you do? These guys, decent, pretty decent. All right, guys, so I think that's about it for now for the... let me get the wide angle in here. All right, guys, so I think that's it for now for the Rapoo VPro V560 keyboard. It's a full-size keyboard with all the keys. I think the metal plate is nice, but the design is a little much, But I think it's nice for the price. It's not the most affordable one out there, but it's decent. And the keys are nice. And if you want a full-size keyboard, this is one of the more affordable ones out there. And Rapoo is a more reliable brand than most. So give this a check for the Rapoo 560. I'm going to use this for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 because Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 requires the num keys for the game, and I don't have a lot of full-size keyboards anymore, and this would be the one I would use because it's good. So that's about it. Alex A. Rivera here from Tech Inspected. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.